Alaina wrote in and something went wrong. Something happened because she thought the date went well. So anyway, Alaina, you met on Hinge. Well done. And then you realize this is a sign of fate that you live a block away from each other, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
And you never knew it?
Yeah.
So you never seen this guy?
No, which is crazy. I mean, I would have definitely been like, if I saw him walking a dog or anything like that, I'd be like, oh, hey, what's up? But
So
no,
this is how my sister met her husband. They lived like 3 apartment units away from each other. So it could happen.
So you say he was a total gentleman. Tell us about the date.
Oh my gosh, it was so nice. For our first date, we just like walked around our neighborhood, and then we went on a second date, which was like so fun. He was such a gentleman, and honestly, like I go on a lot of dates, so I can tell when there's a good date, and I have no idea what could have gone wrong because this date was really nice.
And since the date,
Sorry?
you have not heard from him?
Well, I try not to be all like clingy, so I've been kind of waiting for him to ask me out again, and he hasn't. It's been like a few weeks.
Okay.
Weeks.
So then I was like,
yeah,
like weeks. So then I was like, you know what? Like, come on, put your big girl pants on and ask him out. And then I did. And then he was like, oh, I'm just like really busy the next few weeks, and he'll let me know. But like, we all know what that means. Like, I
Right.
think that one for it,
Listen,
Yeah.
generally, if I go on a date and it goes like yours went, I will send a text on their way home or when we get home separately, right?
Yeah.
Just sort of like, hey, that was fun. Let's do it again sometime. We'll make a plan. Have a great night. Simple, like that, right?
Yeah. Smiley face.
Yeah.
Something. And then I would probably wait a couple days, right? Unless you get into like a really tight text exchange, but not to smother. You don't want to smother. But a few weeks shows no interest. And so I'm just curious about that.
Yeah.
I'm worried about that.
I am too. And honestly, like I can't think of anything. Like I feel like I'm pretty self-aware, but because like after the first day we were talking and the second date went great, and now it's just like, oh, okay. And I couldn't tell you why.
Okay. Hold on. We're going to do our magic here. This is what we do. We were trained for this. Coming up next, second date update, we make the call. Trent is on the line. Alaina, I'm going to put you on silent mute here. You're going to hear this conversation. Let me find out why Trent disappeared after a great date for weeks, okay?
Okay, yes, please.
So be very, very quiet, and then let's see what we can find out. My man Trent, thanks for hanging on. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. What can I do for you, Ryan?
Great. Well, Trent, a couple things, but first of all, what do you do for work?
Oh, I work at a restaurant in Santa Monica called Water Grill.
Capacity increasing. Good news. I saw that. So
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. We got word that you went out with a woman named Alaina that you met on Hinge.
Oh, yeah, Alaina. She's great.
How did the date go?
I mean, she's so nice. I mean, we live right next to each other. We went out a few times, and we had a great time. Why do you ask? What's going on?
I'm just curious, and I like to get into this stuff. So do you plan to ask her out again?
Maybe. I mean, I've been a little busy.
Is that right?
Work is kind of crazy. I'm kind of still thinking about it.
But what, you're thinking about whether or not you want to?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've dated girls like her before, and to be honest, I'm not sure it's going to work out.
What do you mean girls like her? I'm curious.
Her. Right.
Well, she's got this best friend who is a guy, and they've been spending a lot of time together during this quarantine. And I honestly, I just don't go down that road again. I don't want to be the second best guy in her life,
Ooh.
All right. Well, listen, it is true that you went out and she thought you had a good time, and then you vanished for a few weeks. So I think that showed probably that there was no interest, Trent. I mean, that would be the sign I would get. But Alaina's on the line with us right now. Alaina, you heard what Trent just had to say. What's your reaction to that?
I did. I'm like so shocked. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but like it's one of those things where you just like genuinely don't have anything to worry about it, like at all. Like we're just friends. There's nothing there. Nothing happened during quarantine. Like it's just that's not what it is. It's not the case.
That's what they all say.
Well,
Easy.
that's fine, but I mean, Alaina, you told me that you guys hooked up before, so there's history there.
Yeah, but like years ago, like when we first met and we didn't really know each other, you know what I mean? And then we just like realized, oh yeah, we were attracted to each other as like friends, and it like was confusing. You know, you're younger, you can't really like differentiate sometimes, but you know, it's been years and it's never happened again, and there's no interest in it. So it's just like, it's frustrating because like I do care about him, but like completely platonically. So it's just, I don't know. Like it's nothing. Like I don't even want to defend it too much because it's just nothing to defend.
I mean, Trent, that should ease you up a little bit, bro, because listen, you're on Hinge. You know, it's not going well, right? If you had to get on Hinge. And so finally
That's not what that means.
Well, that means you haven't met somebody, right? I mean, the guy was single. You had to get on dating app.
But also, I've been in Alaina's position where I had like the best friend that like we had a history years ago, like in college. And then eventually Michael ended up becoming like really good friends with him, and it's totally fine. It's like you could become really good friends with this guy.
But Trent,
they would get along.
Trent, my point is, it's hard to find someone out there, and if you went on a couple of dates and things went well and she was charmed by you, then let's not let this be a roadblock, especially after her explanation. So I say, Trent, don't wait a few more weeks. Would you like to take Alaina out again?
I mean, I see your point. And Alaina, this is nothing against you. I mean, maybe I've been burned too much in the past. I've had a couple situations very similar to this where it didn't go my way, and they ended up starting up a whole other relationship because I realized they had something like this foundation of friendship that just kind of led to the sparks. And I think if you've slept together, that means there is inherently an attraction. And
so you can't get past it, Trent.
Because you're attracted. Yeah, I think for me, I just don't feel secure to continue pursuing something just because I've seen the way you talk about him. You light up when you talk about him. It totally made me realize that.
Trent can't get past it. He has an insecurity about it, and that's a fair position. So, Alaina, it's not going to work out with Trent, it sounds like. But thank you for reaching out, and thank you for, Trent, being honest with us. You take care. Okay, guys?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
I don't know. Look, Trent, so I'm trying to think about this.
Yeah, think about it. Like, really think about it.
No, he's living in fear. It's like he's, okay, so that happened in the past. Like, it's not going to happen again. Like, you can't just keep predicting the future that it's going to go wrong.
No, but it's like, say you're out with somebody and they're talking about their best friend. That's the opposite sex that they've been intimate with, and they're lighting up. It's like, what am I doing here?
But that's all in his head. She might not be lighting up at all. But like in his head, that's his narrative.
Yeah, it's Bené Brown right there. But I don't know. I feel like Trent could take another beat and go, okay, let's see. Let's go out a few more times. But he has an insecurity about it.
Mm-hmm. He does. If Michael did this to me, then we would not be together right now.
That's right.
If he basically at the beginning of our relationship said, hey, you know what? Your relationship with that guy, I feel like it's too close, blah, 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 I'm out, then we would not be together. And it was
so he had to get over
an issue.
He had to get over it.
Well, yeah, kind of. But he didn't even have to get over it because he was never insecure about it.
See, there you go. Comes down to that.